Welcome to Tame the Mobile Beast. I'm your host, Tom Buda, and today I'm joined by Joel Holland, the CEO of Harvest Hosts. Harvest Hosts is a membership program that connects RVers with unique overnight experiences. Amazingly, Harvest Hosts has over 250,000 members and has facilitated over 1 million stays. Welcome to the show, Joel. How are you today?
I'm great, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Before we talk more about you and Harvest Hosts, I wanted to kick off the conversation with our Beast of the Week. In this case, our Beast of the Week is adventuring. Joel, can you talk about this adventuring idea and this challenge and why you set out to tame it?
Yeah, totally. I think that people have this inherent desire to travel and experience new things. And, that was taken away from a lot of people during COVID. And that was a good reminder that, we really don't like monotony. We really don't like doing the same thing every day and being stuck. There's like this energy you get from new experiences, and travel and adventure is the easiest way to get that, right? Like never am I traveling and am I bored. It's all new. It's all new stimulus. It's super exciting. So road travel and RV travel have become, in the last few years, a really good way to scratch the itch. And so I think that's why we've seen such an influx of road travelers. They want the adventure. They love spontaneity. Road travel gives you both.
Interesting. So where does Harvest Hosts come in?
Yep. So Harvest Hosts, we have over 9,000 locations where you can stay as a member. And these are really interesting and upscale and unique locations: wineries, breweries, distilleries, golf courses, museums. And when I say museums, I'm talking like outdoor air museums, underground salt museums, toy museums, really neat and funky places, right? Our whole thing is stay somewhere awesome. And when you're in an RV, you've got plenty of options. We don't think that staying in a Walmart parking lot or a Cracker Barrel parking lot or a rest stop should be an option when you can stay at a winery. And for our members, it's totally free to stay there. You pay us $100 a year to be a member. You can stay at almost 10,000 places for free in return for supporting the business, right? And that's why the businesses are in our program. They love members coming in, buying tickets to the museum or buying the wine, doing a tasting, buying the fresh produce. So it's a good win-win program. RVers stay somewhere cool. Businesses from our program this year will get over $50 million in additional revenue.
How do your members, how do they engage with you? What is it on a website? Is it on an app? What's your engagement platform?
That's right. So mobile and web. And so we have it. We have a great app. We have a great website, and you can use either and both. The majority of our members are signing up either on our website from a desktop or on our website through mobile. And then they're downloading the app to use the app for the actual search and booking experience, because the app has a great route planning feature. You can filter by size, by type, see all the photos and reviews, and then also see the booking system. So the majority of our members are booking through the app.
And how much do you think about, I'll call it unifying the experience between, web and app? Given that it's the same person, right?
Yeah.
That's interacting on both platforms of choice.
That's right. We think about it a lot. So we basically did a full year rebuild, and we called it Web App Parity, such that the website and the app are an identical experience.
I think that's something everybody should pay attention to. So maybe you can unpack that a little bit for us and talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, we basically found our users really didn't appreciate the disjointed experience, right? Like every time to use a weird example, but every time you walk into a Walmart, they're always the same. And I think people like that. You kind of know where stuff is. You can walk into one here in Colorado or one in Missouri. They're the same. How weird would it be if every time you walked into a Walmart, everything was different? Some are bright, some are dark. Some have carpet, some don't. Some have a food section on the right, some have it on the left. That would just be weird. And that's kind of what we had. And so it made people have to learn things twice. And this concept of context switching is not a good one when it comes to getting someone to do what you want, which is get in, book a stay, and go visit a host. We are making their mental burden too high. And we're always trying to work to make things easier, not harder. And so web app Parity was the easiest way to like take the mental load off the user.
Any key stats or big wins or anything that you'd like to talk about? It's okay to brag a little bit, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm proud of the fact we came in with a playbook, which we had used at my last company around, improve the product first and then turn on marketing advertising and try to get the word out. And we grew Harvest Hosts from 6,000 members in 2018 to now 260,000 today. And we grew host locations from 600 to now over 9,000. And that wasn't accidental. It was by following this playbook of, improve the product and then invest in getting the word out. And so on the host side, we actually invested in getting a host recruiting team to get more locations. Like we knew that it would be dangerous to overrun our current locations with members. And then on the membership side, we started like putting our faith in the product and spending real money, like spending millions of dollars advertising on Facebook and Instagram and Google, starting with those direct response performance channels. Meta has always been our largest acquisition channel because they have the right audience and they have the ability to target. It's getting harder these days and more expensive, but
sure.
But yeah, I think that was the big thing. Like, it's funny. I remember the founders of Harvest Host, they said, we have 6,000 members and we think we're about tapped out on market. And I said, well, that's interesting. I don't think you are. I think you just haven't spread the word. You haven't paid to tell people about it. They're like, well, we think we have a very, person-to-person product. We think that we're now 9 years into this business. Everyone who would have heard about it and joined. And I told them, I was like, I disagree. And I'm like, I will actually like go spend millions on Facebook to test this. And I might be wrong and I might lose a lot of money, but it worked, right? Like it worked because we took a great product and added some virality to it. And I think that's a big lesson is if you have something you believe in, put some spend behind it. And you might be amazed how putting gas on the fire helps spread the word.
Very cool. Well, congratulations on the success that you've had. I'm sure in your mind you're just beginning, and also now as at least a second time CEO. Can you share some lessons that you've learned that other folks that are considering being entrepreneurs or in fact just running businesses may be able to learn from you?
Yeah, I mean, and I can only talk from my experiences, but I will say it's been a lot easier this time around buying a company that I believed in and then helping scale it versus building it from the ground up. Because anytime, and anyone listening, this is preaching to the choir, but building from the ground up, you got to find the hard as hell product market fit. When you can skip that process and buy something that you think you can come in and improve, that's pretty cool. And so I've now done 6 acquisitions in the last 6 years. I'm addicted to this idea of buying great businesses that I can improve and then go spread the word for. I love that. And I don't think I'll ever go back. I think, people have to have the confidence to invest in advertising, right? Like word of mouth and organic growth is never going to be enough. You need to throw gas on the fire. So if you've got a great product and you really want to get the word out, you have to take the leap and invest in advertising. Then it gets even harder, like where, how much, et cetera. Like that it's a challenge, and advertising is getting more challenging these days. Targeting is getting more difficult. We're going through that challenge right now. So, and then I guess the last piece is I get also like pretty cliche advice, but having a great team is more important than having a great idea. Ideas are a dime a dozen. I think when you have the right team that comes in to execute and help you really make it work, that's what matters. And so I spend most of my time on people, and I think that's probably what most entrepreneurs would say.
Well, Joel, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you very much for coming on Tame the Mobile Beast podcast, and I really enjoyed our conversation, and I wish you much success.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. This is fun.